Incredible stories of organ donors. When she died in a tragic accident, Patty's heart gave her own dad a new life.
When you said that Patty wanted to be a donor, you weren't thinking for your husband.
And this woman gave him a kidney. And then she married him. Plus, reunions between donors' families and the people they saved.
He is here, and you will meet him for the first time.
The greatest gift.
Chester and Jean are hanging on to each other like, how long have you been married?
38 years.
38. Well, this marriage has a chance then, we'd say.
I think it's going to work.
Let's see how... Chester, how could a nice guy like you have all this trouble? When did your heart trouble start?
I was 32 years old, and something came out in the Reader's Digest in the late 60s called jogging and aerobics, brand new terms to me, and it says if you build up your vascular system, you should not have any trouble with heart disease. And I figured, boy, if there's one thing this guy isn't going to die from, it's heart disease. So I began jogging, and the 13th day I ended up in emergency at the hospital, at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak.
Now, you had no previous history, though?
None.
So you wanted to be like everybody, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to be healthy.
Keep the muscle working, right?
I wanted to be healthy.
Yeah. All right. You ended up, well, did you go down? Did you pass out? What happened?
I just had an insufficiency which caused an arrhythmia. The heartbeat was irregular. I felt dizzy. Symptoms I had never experienced before in my life.
Did you say you were 32 when this
32 years old. And really not too much was done. They didn't seem to think it was heart trouble. The heart diagnostics back then compared to today were really in the dark ages.
Sure. But you obviously did something right, because 32, you were 32, that's 26 years ago.
At 35, I had my first heart attack. And I just turned 36, had my first bypass operation, and I had 3 of those. I had one in 73, had an operation in 82, and I had a bypass operation in 1987.
So the OR team says, well, here comes Chad again.
They got to know him well.
I bet you.
They did.
This had to take a tremendous toll, though.
Well, who do I complain to?
That's right. And, okay. Now you are coming up. It's almost curtains for you. When did this? When did you really start to? Well, when did you go on the donation list?
Well, the problem, the 87 surgery was a disaster. I had a massive heart attack on a table, and it was touch and go. Rather, I was going to pull through that operation, and I never really recovered from that. And by 1990, it was determined that maybe if I could, I should try to get a new heart to replace my failing one.
Right. Okay, so you go on the list.
Exactly.
Now,
go through evaluation first. Takes about 90 days.
Yeah.
Because of the shortage of organs, they want to make sure that you're reasonably healthy, that you don't have too many things wrong with you. Fortunately, I don't.
Right.
They would forgive diabetes, but not anything else, because they didn't want to give you a new heart and then die of it.
But you were declared a candidate.
Yes.
For donation.
Yes.
To receive a donated heart.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know how many thousand, you couldn't have been at the top of the list, were you?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
You have 6 children.
4 sons and 2 daughters.
About this time, things aren't tough enough on you folks with you, I mean, I don't think you're going to be upset if I said you had 1 foot in the grave. I mean, that's not an overstatement, is it?
No, it's not, no.
And the phone rang for another reason.
Yeah.
Now, here is an arrow in your heart. Here is the worst news you can imagine. Your daughter, Patty, who is 22 at the time, is in a car accident in the Great Smoky Mountain State Park in Tennessee. She's with her friend. She's not driving.
No.
And the car hits a rock, rolls over several times. What did the phone call, how were you notified of the accident?
The phone rang at 20 minutes to 5 in the morning, and it was a Southern lady, and she wanted to know if we had a daughter, and I said yes, and she goes, she just started asking me questions. Then I said, that's all we needed to know. They just needed to know she was down there, because her purse and stuff was, with the car. They airlifted her to the University of Tennessee.
What did they tell you about her condition?
Well, then they told us, that she was very, very serious, and that she wasn't expected to live. And then I gave the phone to my husband, and Chet talked.
She's at your daughter, who is critically injured, is in a hospital in Knoxville. Did you fly there?
Well, when I talked to the emergency room doctor, he says there's no point in leaving. Death is moments away. He says, don't even bother coming down. So that leaves you in a real dilemma.
And I was also worried about him taking the trip.
Sure.
So 2 of my boys, they flew out right away and went down there. And then she was still, you know, hanging on Friday night or Thursday night. So then we left the next morning. Chet said if they were going to, you know, shut off the life support, he wanted to be there.
So you did fly down?
So then we went early Friday morning.
So, and you got to hold your daughter's hand then, I assume?
We were with her every minute.
Uh-huh. Now, was there a decision obliged regarding respirator and so on? Were you obliged to make any decisions?
Well, we told them, you know, to do everything that they could to save her. But, you know, we also let them know right away that Patty wanted to be a donor. She was a nursing student, and she had signed her card when her father, you know, became ill.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted him to be well so bad. I mean, that was all she talked about.
But when you said that Patty wanted to be a donor, you weren't thinking for your husband.
No,
No.
that never entered our minds. Never.
It wouldn't occur to most parents, I
Patty
am
was
sure.
very
Totally
little.
inconceivable.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
First of all, there's no guarantee there's a match here, even though she's blood.
Exactly.
Right.
Isn't that so?
That's true.
And I don't think there's ever been. Has there been a blood relative receive?
No, this is the first that we know.
There's certainly been kidneys, and we know about twins and siblings that have shared.
Exactly.
But a heart from a deceased loved one, a blood
Child
relative.
parent has never been done before.
Okay, so what is the sequence of events here? Somebody has to say to you,
Your daughter is, when did the issue of your being the recipient come up?
Quite a while. We had to, as survivors, we have to give the final approval as to whether Patty could be a donor or not. And this is true with every donor. Just because you sign your little thing in the back of your driver's license indicating you want to be a donor, that is not chiseled in stone. Your survivor, your family has to give the final approval because a donor could no longer act on their own. So we had gone through that entire procedure where we had, and the survivor has the right to stop the procedure, only donate certain organs, or give whatever is possible. So we had gone through that entire procedure where we had told them to take whatever it is that they could use to help other people. And then after we had done this, the coordinator left the little room we were in, and Gene and I sat there for probably 10 minutes trying to gain our composure.
Oh, you had to be wrecked.
And so when we came out, the boy's parents, the boy who was driving, his parents were there, and his mother was very, very, very distraught. And I tried to calm her down, and that probably took another 10 or 15 minutes. And then they had to catch an airplane back. Ours was later. Gene and I had a cup of coffee, and we were leaving the hospital when the coordinator came running up and says, you know, under the circumstances, you can have Patty's heart. And that's the first time that this had ever hit me. And I want to tell you, a million things went through my mind, but the only thing that came out instantly was no.
ask yourself, what would you say? I'd say no.
It didn't take me very long to make my mind up. It was instant.
Well, how about you, Mom?
Well, my first thought was I didn't want him to go through that either because I was afraid I'd lose him besides Patty. And
You mean, what do you mean?
It's not an easy surgery, you know. I mean,
Of course not, but is Patty's heart is still beating?
they kept her on life support.
Uh-huh. But have you resolved in your mind that Patty is gone?
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
They really had told us Saturday that, and
Okay, so that's
then they
not-
wait 24 hours. She was declared brain dead 11:30 in the morning.
On Sunday.
So you're standing there about to leave this hospital, and the guy is saying,
The lady.
lady. So tell me then, what happened then?
Well, I had declined the heart, and so she said, well, she looked somewhat disappointed, so she left because they had other organs to assign to other people waiting. And the University of Tennessee has motel rooms there for people that are out of town. We were fortunate enough to have one, and where I was at and where I had to go was quite a walk. And I don't really know what I was thinking about on that long walk back, but I had one more elevator to go down. And while I was waiting for the elevator, it occurred to me that maybe this is the way Patty would have really wanted it. And then I thought, boy, this is a decision I can't make on my own. But I went to the room, and I laid down on my bed, and I'm thinking about this thing. And I heard Gene talking to one of my other children outside the room. And I had asked her to come in, and I said, I want to run something by you and see what you think. And I told her exactly what I thought, that maybe this is how Patty would have wanted it. Well, she wasn't sure. She was, again, I know now why she wasn't sure, but she didn't want to have 2 funerals to go to instead of 1. So I said, you don't have to give me a decision. I said, send one of the other kids in. My youngest son, Rick, was there. He come in, and I told him about it. Well, he was for it immediately. And I said, no, the whole family has to decide. And we had the rest of the family there. And they went outside, and I heard a small confab, and they all come in and said, we think it's a great idea. And the rest is history.
Let me show a picture. For my father. This is from it's your regular Father's Day card. If the wishes that I have for you would suddenly start coming true, you'd have a brand new limousine, dine on the finest French cuisine. You'd have your own deluxe TV and spend weekends in Waikiki. But since I can't get you what I'm dreaming of, would you settle for this? And above the verse, your daughter has drawn a heart and written, a new, healthy heart. Happy Father's Day. I have your permission to share this personal note from her. I know things have been tough for you lately, your daughter wrote to you. Just keep up your positive attitude and good spirits. I'm very proud of your strength and courage. Things will work out and you'll be as good as new soon. Best of health and love always, Patty. She was never to know that it would be her heart that she wished for her father on Father's Day 2 years before her death. Everybody at the hospital, I think, agreed with your decision.
I think from the mail, the cards, the phones, calls, the FedEx, everything that we received, we have had 100% support from the decision. Mm-hmm. We had absolutely no idea that we would get this sort of attention from this procedure. It was just a decision made under the hardest of circumstances, and after the surgery was just unbelievable. The response from everyone that resulted of this.
Yeah. Someone not in the family has written a long poem. Let me just share one. I don't want to make you cry here, but here's the poem, as though it were written by your daughter. Oh, Mommy, when it's hardest and you think about me gone, just lay your hand on Daddy's chest and feel me beating on. I'll be smiling down and laughing with the angels far above as you nestle in the arms of the family you love. How long post-op are you now, Chad?
Well, the surgery was August 22nd, so it's running on 7 months.
And you're fine, aren't you?
I can't remember feeling better when I felt well. I feel well. Physically I feel 100%. Emotionally, I am still scarred.
Sure. So you are the personification of bittersweet, aren't you?
Absolutely. I don't know whether I should laugh or cry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're very grateful to you for sharing this story with us. You are another reminder of the importance of organ donation. I need not lecture you about that.
Right.
We have a number of guests who are going to come out on this program, some of whom have received, some of whom have given. And we'll also meet the mother of a daughter who was killed on the Long Island Railroad massacre by Colin Ferguson, and approved the donation of organs from her daughter's body. 6 people are alive and well today because of that decision, and we'll meet one of them. And other folks, to be sure, who will step forward to say, if you haven't committed yourself to organ donation, then you are depriving this kind of health and well-being to uncounted numbers of families. And we'll be back in just a moment. Connie and Jim Hickerson join us. And you must feel such a connection to the Zubers. Your daughter was 14 and skiing. And your phone rang. Is that how we should understand this? She was out of town skiing. What was this, a group she went with? And
she went with our church group in, we're from Southern Illinois, and she went with the church group to Wisconsin and was very excited about it. And they had left at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the phone rang at 10:15 that night. And it was our pastor, and said that you need to call the hospital right away, that she's been hurt and that it's bad.
So you called the hospital. Was your daughter alive?
Yes.
She was.
Before we left, we deeply suspected that the news was not going to be good when we got there, because the doctors basically said the best you can do for Megan right now is to get here as safely as you can. And they said she was on life support. And at that point, I turned to him and said, we're going to lose her, because they don't call and tell you that they're on life support and that there's a chance of recovery. I didn't think, in my mind, there was.
So you got there really expecting the worst?
Yes.
And you got it?
Yes.
You were obviously told by somebody at the hospital that your daughter's chances were, that she was brain dead?
They mostly talked to him, because at that point, my focus was on her, and I wanted to see her. And they wanted, of course, to discuss it, and I wasn't wishing to discuss it. I just basically told them, I want to see her, and I want to see her now. And he, unfortunately, had to deal with all the bad news.
So you were able to see your baby?
Yes.
Your child, your 14-year-old?
She was our baby.
You were able to hold her hand?
I actually crawled in bed with her.
I bet you did.
And hugged her and rocked her.
Do I understand, then, that her organs have been transplanted into the bodies of 6 people who are at this hour alive and well?
That's what we know.
So this would be heart, liver, pancreas, eyes, cornea?
Right.
And I don't know what the...
Two kidneys.
There was a pancreas kidney transplant into one person, and a kid in the other kidney.
Have you heard from any of these recipients?
We received one letter from the man who received the heart, and it was a day that really lifted us up, because we'd gone and visited our son in college, and it was the first time we'd seen him since the funeral. And when we got back from the 3-hour trip, we'd had a letter in the mail from a 64-year-old heart recipient. We just both sat down and cried. It was just a lovely, lovely letter.
Some heart donation agencies do facilitate the meeting of the recipient of the organ and the loved ones of the donor. Generally speaking, this is an anonymous and confidential relationship. Most donees do not know who their donors were. And that's certainly true in your case. You know, this is no surprise to you. You know that we have arranged for Chris Nelson to be here. Chris is 26 years old and needed a new liver. You knew all this, I think, didn't you?
Lord.
About him?
Oh, yes.
He was in a coma.
I didn't know that.
And he is here, and you will meet him for the first time. And I know that's okay with you, because we can tell. And we'll introduce him when we come back in just a moment.
Have you had a feud with your neighbor? If so, give us a call at 1-800-205-7445. That's 1-800-205-7445.
We should say, Connie, this was your only child.
Yes.
You do have 2 stepchildren. Your husband's by a previous marriage. Your daughter was to die at age 14 in a horrible skiing accident. Please welcome Chris Nelson. Come on in here, Chris.
Thank you.
Well, you were one gone fellow here. I mean, you were in very, very serious situation.
Yeah.
You were in a coma.
Yes, for 3 weeks.
For how long?
3 weeks.
What caused this liver problem, Chris? Do we know? Was it a...
I think it was toxins, buildup of toxins in my body from the workplace and other places. Just
And it's just flat failed.
Yeah.
So you're unconscious. You don't even know this drama's going on.
No.
And when you woke up, you already had the scar and Megan's liver.
Yes.
And how long ago? Now, how long are you post-op? How long ago was the operation?
It was on January 16th.
So we're talking 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you feel now? Is there a difference?
Yeah, a lot better. I feel a lot better. I was getting tired all the time before I got the new liver, and now I just have a lot more energy.
Right. How long were you on the list?
Oh, I think it was about 3 weeks.
Yes.
And then I went into a coma, so
Yes.
it was kind of, I needed one right now or I was going to die.
Yeah. It's very difficult to have it happen in a public forum like this, and we appreciate very much your allowing us to invade your privacy here for the greater good of alerting people to the fact that lives can be saved by organ donation. That's certainly the point you want to make.
Yes.
And there is a feeling of nothing is ever going to, your life is altered forever. Nothing can change this.
We received a letter shortly after the funeral, because one of my, not that I objected right away, but after we made the decision, a bus driver wrote a letter and said they had discussed it on the bus, and that Megan was the only one who said she would give her organs because she would want someone to have the wonderful life that she had had.
And there aren't words, are there, to convey?
There are many words that you can say, other than I'm grateful that they made the right decision.
Yeah.
It's nice to be here.
You'd have been gone.
Yeah.
I mean, the clock was ticking on you. You were totally unconscious in a coma for 3 weeks.
Oh.
They put Megan's liver in your body, and here you are trying to get back to where you used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other stories of this kind regarding organ donation will be heard when we come back in just a moment. Your daughter, Amy, had more challenges for her age than should ever be presented to one person in a lifetime. We're joined by Arlene LaCicero, whose daughter Amy was one of 6 victims of Colin Ferguson, who in December of 1993 just walked through a Long Island Railroad car and started shooting white people. Your daughter Amy had more challenges for her age than should ever be presented to one person in a lifetime. She had just lost her husband.
Mm-hmm. Not just, but within a year.
Within a year, but it happened like several months after they married, didn't it?
3.
And your daughter is in our audience as well. She's been with us before when we talked about Carrie. Just raise your hand so we can see you there. Thank you. We're so glad you're giving Mom some help here now. You've already been up here. You know what this is like. When did you, your daughter, incidentally, was the last to die of the 6 victims.
Mm-hmm.
So she had a beating heart and a fully functioning body with obviously massive brain injuries.
Yes, indeed.
So when was the notion of organ donation presented to you, Arlene?
Well, actually, it was rather interesting. The night that we went to the hospital and we were aware that she was shot, it was a difficult night. There was no sleeping at all. And so when you look out of blinds at the moon long enough, you do a lot of thinking. And my daughter's roommate had been with me, and we were on separate couches, and she saw I wasn't sleeping. And at one point, and I couldn't tell you when, during the night, she crossed the room and she said, "Have you considered giving Amy's organs, organs to others for Amy?" And I said, "No." And she went back to her sofa, and I stayed awake on mine. And then, since my husband had left to get Carrie at Gettysburg College, when they came back, it was certainly one of the first questions I asked my family. Because, you know, until you're in a position where you're dealing with many issues at once and your heart is going in so many directions, sometimes your ability to think clearly is muffled. And so after a while, when we were aware that Amy's condition was not improving, and that, I think, that's an important thing, if you don't mind my bringing it up. When you see your loved one, and your loved one appears to be recovering, that is to say, the face looks the same, the hair is the same,
You've got a daughter here. This is emotionally.
Yeah, she's absolutely, and you're hoping that she will live. And the fact was that as time went by, because there was a 5-day lapse between the time Colin Ferguson shot her and the time that the decision was agreed to the giving of her organs, it is not something that you're not helped with. That is to say, if you ask questions, and if you ask the kind of questions that are really of concern, without doubt, the question that was of greatest concern to us in making this decision was, would Amy suffer any more harm, any more pain, any more horrible kinds of surgical procedures? I mean, I don't mean to be blunt, but that's what it amounts to when you're making this decision. And I came to the conclusion as I watched and as the tests went on, because testing is required in the state of New York as it is in other states. And I was aware that what I was seeing was a brain-dead daughter. And I had to admit that. And once our family could see that that was the case, then the decision was so easy. But that decision was not easy. And I would be less than honest if I were to say that to me, seems to be the most difficult decision that would have to be made here.
And the decision was yes?
Yes, it was a yes, absolutely.
Totally unanimously concluded in by Carrie, the whole family?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You have met the recipient of your daughter's heart.
Yes.
The person who received your daughter's heart, as you know, is 60 years old. She is Teresa Caravella. She's the mother of 7 children.
Actually, I'd like to say that I'm the mother of a 41-year-old son, a 60-year-old daughter, and a 59-year-old daughter someplace else.
Well, Teresa, come on out here. We want to say hello to you, too. Here you come. Come on out here, Mom.
Hello, lovely lady. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Teresa, this tragedy on the Long Island Railroad took place in December of 1993. And you had obviously been sick for a long, long time.
2 years.
Yeah. I don't mean to make this sound like Pollyanna, but you look fabulous, I'm telling you. Whoa. Well, okay, we got a break here. And I don't know, you're running 4 or 5 miles a day, I'm not sure of that, but we'll talk about how you feel now, and we have other stories we want to tell you about organ donation. And incidentally, do you happen to know how many people are waiting? Waiting for the phone to ring. Almost 40,000. Do you know which organ is most in demand? We'll tell you when we come back in just a moment.
These donor parents are the most courageous, wonderful people you want to know. Without them, people like myself don't have life.
For a transcript of Donahue, send $3 to Journal Graphics, 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203. To order a video cassette for only $24.95, just call 1-800-FOR-VIDEO.
We'll meet the Curleys in just one second. We're glad you're out here. We've got to talk to Teresa here for just... Teresa, you're a Long Islander.
Yes, I slip.
Uh-huh. You had a beeper too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You must have been... You had a heart that was just flat, going no place, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You had to be scared to death. Did you? You must have come to terms with your own death, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to bed every night not knowing if I would wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard.
Yeah, you were on the list.
I was.
Right. And you had a beeper, didn't you?
I had a beeper.
And it beeped?
No, as a matter of fact, it was a Sunday morning, December 12th, which ironically was the day that I went into heart failure, December 12th in '91. This was the very day that I got news that my heart was available to me by phone. It was early in the morning. So...
You go immediately to the hospital?
No, there was a wait. They said not to go anywhere. We were ready to go to the 9 o'clock mass. We never made it. One grandson was being baptized. Another grandson coming home, just being born on the 8th.
Holy cow.
There's so much excitement on this day.
Well, where'd you get the... did you lie down for the surgery?
I
mean, yeah, well... all right, so there you go. They rolled you in, and they did the work, and you wake up...
I woke up, and I didn't know if it had begun or if it ended.
Yeah. So if my math is right, we're about 15 months post-op here then?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And tell me, what's up here, Teresa? You feeling good?
Wow, when I woke up, I couldn't believe the energy that I felt.
Really?
It was amazing. And when my family came in to see me, they couldn't believe the color in my face. I finally had color after all these years, which I hadn't had. You know, I was always so pale and, you know, white, like a milk bottle.
Yeah.
Now I had all this color.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt great.
You're happy to beat the drum, though, aren't you, for this?
I'm so happy to be here.
And you want other people to know that...
I want people to know that without donation, people like myself don't have a chance at life. And I would like to say that these donor families, donor parents are the most courageous, wonderful people you want to know. Without them, people like myself don't have life, and I applaud them.
Here are the numbers. People in need of organ donors as of March of 1995. 28,000 people are waiting for a kidney transplant. Over 4,000 people for a liver. Over 3,000 for a heart. Almost 2,000 for lung transplants. 1,100 are waiting for kidney pancreas transplants. Pancreas transplant donees, or that is to say people who need the pancreas, 243, heart, lung, 205, and intestine, 74. Wow. And if we could make this more popular, we could save more people. And Teresa and Chris are just two examples of... The Curleys join us. You're from Mission Viejo, California. Randy and Victoria, you were dating when your medical crisis developed, isn't that so?
Yeah, that's...
You weren't married?
No.
What was your problem, Randy?
Mainly diabetes, but I had kidney failure, end-stage renal disease.
So here you were, Victoria. No disrespect to Randy, but your mom wouldn't have wished a sick boyfriend on you. But here you were, you had one.
Right.
And you have been honest to tell us that this got in the way, didn't it, of your relationship with him? I mean, there was a time, was there not? May I ask you?
It was a big decision that I had to deal with. For a whole year, I fought with myself, and I thought to myself, I don't need this. Someone else's problems. I have problems of my own. Why should I have to deal with this? And I got to thinking about if my life is great, I've got a good career, I've got a great son who left, but that's part of the process. And here's someone who is in really bad shape, you know, with his medical problems. And then I got to thinking, if that would have been me, health-wise, would I want someone to cast me away for that? And absolutely not. So he put me on the right track as far as getting my self-esteem, my life in order.
So you decided...
So I just decided, this is really a neat guy.
Yeah.
He needs he needs a chance to keep on.
Neat guy, lousy kidney.
Right, right.
But a kidney,
He's my
the
best
man
friend.
doesn't, a kidney is not something that makes the man. But
Right.
it certainly could have taken this man. When did you even consider the possibility of your donating one of your healthy kidneys to your fiancé or to your boyfriend at the
I broke up with him in
time?
August.
Pardon me?
I broke up with him in August, and then we decided, well, like, in August, you don't want the whole story. But anyway, we got back together in September, and I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and go for it, and we got our relationship started again. And then about March, we got engaged in February, and in March we went over to St. Vincent's Hospital in Los Angeles, and we found that he definitely needed a kidney, like 100% chance. So going through his family, prospects in his family were slim to none chance. They either had heart, high blood pressure, some kind of health problems that none of them could deal with this. Right. And finding out how long the list was, and we talked about non-related, related donors. So off the top of my head, I said, well, let's try me. And they did.
Yeah, incidentally, the chances of your matching your fiancé are 10,000 to 1.
It was a miracle. We have identical immune systems, which made it the prognosis for him is a lot higher. What is it, 93% chance of him keeping it.
Uh-huh.
And it just worked out really well.
So how many, you had a room, he had a room? Before the operation, yeah.
Right, right. Well, they accidentally nicked we got married in the hospital.
Yeah.
In the chapel.
The honeymoon was the surgery, or supposed to be.
Yeah.
And they accidentally nicked my artery. So
They
accidentally nicked my artery. Ooh. So there was a big possibility. There was a 50% chance that I was not going to be able to donate the kidney. But I told them that's not going to be so. We're going to do this. So 4 weeks later, we came back. Everything was fine, and we did the kidney. And it was really funny. The first time I saw him, he was this bright pink face. Randy was a very old, gray man when I married him, and now he's
color, youth, vigor. Well, should we be surprised? He's got your kidney.
That's right.
There is a happy story. Isn't it too bad that... And we're glad you're married. Did you ever get a honeymoon?
Not yet.
No, well,
we've been so busy.
You're looking forward to it.
Yes.
We regret to say that not all these stories are happy ones. Not everybody who goes on the waiting list gets an organ in time. And we'll talk about the sad side of this drama when we come back in just a moment.
The donor families that are here need to be commended because it's a very difficult decision to make, but one that I think that most donor families are very happy that they have made.
Jay and Vicki Rundy join us, Mineral Point, Wisconsin. Well, here's the sad part. Your 5-year-old daughter died while awaiting a transplant. What is it that your daughter needed, Vicki?
She needed a new liver.
A liver.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just plain, this by random design that we'll never understand. She was born with a deficient liver, is that so?
She had a healthy liver when she was born, and on September 23rd...
started to malfunction?
Yeah, malfunction.
Mm-hmm. The symptoms were, did she lose consciousness? Or?
No, she showed jaundice and yellow in her eyes. They really thought it was just a virus into her liver. She had a very healthy liver.
And she got on the list, and you prayed.
We prayed.
Mm-hmm. What makes this even sadder is the day she died, the fall. Did you learn about?
No, she was going through a transplant, and the transplant went excellent. During the transplant, her blood pressure rose real high, and then it just fell, which instantly means your brain, blood clot into your brain.
Uh-huh. So it was during the transplant procedure that?
In surgery.
In surgery.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
You would want to say what? Is it your feeling that had the phone rung sooner, maybe you would have a better chance? Do you think?
I'm sure a day sooner she would be here with us today.
So it was the time waiting for the organ to become available that proved to be fatal to your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
We're very grateful to you both. I can't imagine how much energy and courage it takes just to stand up and share this story with us. You do so because you don't want this to happen to anybody else.
No, we don't. That's why we donated Kelly's organs.
Yes. And that was the decision you made after her death?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Mr. and Mrs. Rundy of Mineral Point, Wisconsin, your daughter died knowing she was loved, and her memory is honored by what you're doing for us here today. You're letting us know that this is the real world, this is the real pain, and not all of the stories have happy endings. I thank you very much for telling us the truth, and let's hope that your daughter, Kelly, will be the difference of life or death for someone else who may be watching and be moved to donate an organ. Thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful. All right, here's a young woman who needs no speeches about this. You are Lori Shinstein. You're of the University of Wisconsin's transplant coordinator. And you want everybody to know that organ donation works, it can save lives, and if we just had more and more, how many people die every day like Kelly because the organ did not come in time or at all?
Nationwide, we see 8 people dying every single day because the wait has gotten too long. And I have to say, at the University of Wisconsin, we spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to make sure that that doesn't happen to another Kelly. Mm-hmm. The donor families that are here need to be commended because it's a very difficult decision to make, but one that I think that most donor families are very happy that they have made.
Mm-hmm. But are you encouraged by the increasing numbers of people who are expressing an interest or committing themselves to organ donation?
I'm encouraged that we have things like this show to help us get the message out, but I think there's still a lot of work to be done. We see that in 1993, in approximate numbers, 15,000 potential organ donors in the United States, and of those 15,000 people who could have donated organs, we only saw 4,800 or so donate. So we still have a lot of work to do, and that's what we plan to keep on striving for, is to make the wait shorter for those in need.
I thank you, Lori, for sharing those important items with us, and I would like to also say that this patient audience will have a chance to ask their own brief questions when we come back in just a moment.
Some New Yorkers want the porn out of Times Square.
No single X, no double X, no triple X.
Porn shops beware. Next, Donahue.
What are you showing us? Yeah, please. You wanted to say, Mrs. Curley, Victoria.
Yes.
You were showing us what?
I just went to a celebration of life little party on Sunday in La Jolla, and I got a organ donors for life pin, and there's only a few of us that can wear this pin legally, and I just wanted to express my feelings as far as you don't have to die to give to be a donor of certain organs, and the need is so great. Look at this guy; he's healthy as can be.
Let me share with this audience the 800 number of the United Network for Organ Sharing is 800-24-DONOR. That's easy enough. That's 800-24-DONOR. You wanted to ask, yes.
I just have a comment. I would like to say that life is a precious thing, and those of you who have made the decision to donate organs and help others, I commend you on what you have done.
You speak for all of us in saying that. Join me in thanking all these guests for making an important contribution to understanding how many lives can be saved.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
Thank you.